Morning and happy Easter. I'm Bram Resnick. It was a stunning disclosure at a congressional hearing last week. A committee chairman alleging up to 40 veterans died because their care was delayed at the Phoenix Veterans Affairs Medical Center. On top of that, allegations that the VA keeps two sets of records to hide long waits for care. Now, sadly, turmoil and tragedy at the VA are nothing new. But will these latest disclosures bring about real change that helps our veterans? Joining me this morning are Rick Romley, a former Maricopa County attorney, a decorated Marine veteran of Vietnam, and a longtime advocate for veterans here and nationally. And Dan Caldwell of Concerned Veterans for America, which has been pressing for change at the VA. He is also a Marine veteran of Iraq, same division as Rick Romley, years apart. There we go. How surprised were you, Rick Romley, by these allegations?
I was surprised by the number of deaths that they say they can document. That did surprise me significantly. You know, we've been hearing about problems with the Phoenix VA Center for some period of time, and I'm not surprised that it's coming out now, because Dr. Foote, who was the whistleblower in this, who was very courageous, quite frankly.
Sam Foote.
He came to me about 8 months ago, and he indicated that he had to leave because it was getting so bad, and indicated that the two sets of books were there, and he was going to do something about it.
And he believes he has this document.
That he indicates that he has the documentation, and that he's been in touch with Congress, he's been in touch with the OIG, the Office of the Inspector General for the VA. And I think that there's more revelations to come.
So another shoe to drop.
I do think so.
And Dan Caldwell, the Phoenix VA director, responded by asking for an Inspector General's review of her operations. Is that the right response?
I think it's a good initial response, but in a long-term response, our group and others believe that there needs to be real reform at the VA, particularly in regards to accountability and personnel reform. This, unfortunately, isn't the first time that Director Hellman has been involved in an issue of manipulated records.
Is this Sharon Hellman?
Yes, Director Hellman, Sharon Hellman. In 2008, she was in charge of a VA facility in Spokane, Washington, where they were miscounting the number of veterans who committed suicide while they were under their care. At that time, she was not held accountable for the failures at that facility, and she was moved to another facility in Illinois, and then she was moved down here to Phoenix.
In fairness to her, where was that documented?
That was actually uncovered by the Senate Veteran Affairs Committee on Senator Patty Murray, who was a senator from Washington.
Now, we also have Republican Congressman David Schweikert calling for her firing. Does that help veterans? And that helps me pivot to the congressional response. Is that the thing to do? Should Congress be doing something?
You know, I think that we have to wait and let's get the full details. I think that that's only fair, and I think that we need to do that. And I have a feeling that we're going to find that this is not just a Phoenix issue. I think that you're going to see things around the country. And I'm of the opinion, you know, I work back in Washington with the highest of levels at the VA. I'm of the opinion that it's time to reform the VA system itself. You know, there's been no significant reform since World War II. And the way we handle the issues surrounding veterans has to change. Obviously, we're not doing a good job. This is not the first time that there's been an issue out there. I think that we really need to look at meaningful ways to change the way that we're providing care for the veterans. And that's what I really hope. I mean, we're going to get to the bottom of this thing, and there may be firings that's appropriate in this thing, but I think that we can't lose sight that there's a bigger issue here, and we need to probably look at, you know, how we reform.
Dan, you're a relatively new veteran. What is your take on the VA as you get introduced to it?
I think it is a fundamentally inefficient and flawed agency. Since 2001, the VA's budget has more than tripled. They've added over 100,000 new employees, and in fact, they're serving a small population of veterans because of the passing of the World War II generation. They've been giving every bit of resource by Congress and more, and they've failed to accomplish their mission. I look at it as an agency that's not serving veterans well, and that, like Rick said, needs to be fundamentally reformed.
All right, we're going to keep this discussion going when we come back. More on the problems facing Arizona veterans trying to get health care through the Phoenix